Chief Minister Siddaramaiah has presented his 14th state budget in the Vidhan Saudha, and the conversation hinges around 5 guarantees made by the Congress government during campaigning. The brunt of these 5 guarantees will be borne by the local exchequer, of course, to the tune of Rs 54,000 crores. And aside from that, the budget has various provisions for different sectors, including public health, education, as well as the first implementation of a universal basic income in India. What are the benefits and the disadvantages of this budget? Let's discuss the budget of Karnataka with a panel of experts. Joining us on the platform to talk more about this development is Mr. T. Sankirta, BJP spokesperson. Samruddha Hegde, Congress spokesperson, joins us on the show as well. Majid Haidari, political analyst, with us on the program as well. Thank you everyone for being a part of this conversation. Interesting to note that the budget is focusing primarily and predominantly on what the Congress promised and what will be the challenges that they will in fact face while executing this budget, which even the people of Karnataka have been looking forward to. Mr. Sankirta, I'll begin with you. What do you think is bright about this budget? You are in the opposition, of course, but there have to be aspects of any budget for any government in any state that can be appreciated despite you being in the opposition.
See, first of all, I would like to tell that when we were in the power, so we represented a 5,300 crore surplus budget, but this budget contradictorily is having a 12,000 crore deficit. So the number speaks, and in this ATM Sarkar, this is definitely a reverse gear budget. It is not people friendly. It is not pro-poor or pro anything. This is just for the appeasement sake. They have represented a budget. But let me, if you talked about the budget technically, if you see, Mr. Siddaramaiah about the schemes, what he had given, the condition supply guarantees, what they are trying to present to the people of Karnataka, it needs an exchequer value of 52,000 crores. Till date, in the hour-long budget, Mr. Siddaramaiah in his 14th budget presented, he did not utter a single word as to where the resources will be generated and where the income for the 52,000 crore will be generated in the whole budget. But still, Siddaramaiah in his 14th budget is definitely famous for a very negative thing. He is the one chief minister who will accumulate more of loans in the government. And if you see the budget, he always tried to praise the 2013 to 2018, what were the schemes he had given, and he is trying to only praise that. And I want to quote, this budget has been presented politically. Actually, budget should be presented to the people of Karnataka for the welfare of the people of Karnataka. It should be an apolitical one. But all through his 3-hour-long speech, what he was trying to tell, he is trying to quote the central government. He was trying to criticize the central government. Okay, I don't let it be a BJP Congress in the political ally, not in the assembly trying to blame the central government and all. I want to also tell you, the central government has given 3,399 crores as just as an investment for the capital for new schemes. They have given a lot of things on Gati Shakti. They have given a lot of schemes under the PLI linked schemes. So these were all not quoted at all. Okay, if you want to criticize, let it be political BJP versus Congress or all those things outside the assembly. But when you're in the assembly, the Siddaramaiah, we did not expect the 14th budget of Mr. Siddaramaiah to be such a blatantly one and a very devastating budget that has been presented by Mr. Siddaramaiah, the Congress corrupt government.
Okay, let's get a response from Mr. Hegde as well. Mr. Hegde?
Basically, this budget presented is a welfare budget in the truest sense. It provides prosperity to the poor, it protects and nurtures the middle class, and it promotes businesses. We have kept aside, as you said, 52,000 crores for the 5 guarantees, which will have a direct benefit to over 1.3 crore families in Karnataka. This is a direct benefit, it's not a trickle-down benefit. It will directly benefit 1.3 crore families. The Griha Lakshmi scheme will directly benefit 1.3 crore women and give them 2,000 rupees in their account. The Griha Jyoti scheme will bring light to the homes of around 2 crore people. 50 to 60 lakh women are already gaining the benefit of the Shakti scheme and are able to travel free of cost in government buses. The Annabhagya will make sure 4 crore people across Karnataka will not go to sleep hungry. The Yuva Nidhi scheme will ensure that 3.7 lakh youngsters who are unemployed will get a stipend so that will help them in their pursuit of jobs. We have allocated 11% of our budget to education, and this is one of the highest in the countries. So we have focused on providing nutrition for children, better school facilities, better agricultural facilities. We're going to revive the Krishi Bhagya, be it the Nandini scheme, the Nandini, they're going to rebrand Nandini. We're given brand Bengaluru around 45,000 crores. The metro has been given 30,000 crores. We are going to focus on infrastructural development, road projects, railway projects, airstrips, ports, industrial townships. I can go on and on and on. I have an entire budget right here in my hand. We are focusing on every sector in society. We are going to promote women and child welfare. We have given substantial impetus to irrigation. We have given substantial benefits to education, be it building of schools and colleges. We have given enough and more to development of the weaker sections. We are going to promote weaker sections. Special care has been taken in that regard. I don't know what the BJP is criticizing. He is not able to point out one place where we have fallen short. He is just, shooting in the dark, shooting in the air. I mean, I would suggest that suggest that the BJP appoint a leader of opposition so that they can raise all these in the House. And they are unable to do even that. I would like to remind the BJP that in the last 5 years, the debt of the state increased from 2.46 lakh crores to 5.3 lakh crores. They have increased the debt in the last 5 years. And now they're coming and lecturing us on how we shouldn't raise a debt. So we are giving the benefit directly to the people. We are focusing on youth. We are focusing on sports. We are focusing on unemployment. We are focusing on all the aspects to ensure that Karnataka is put back on the map as a state, as a model state, and as a state which has always been progressive.
Right. And Mr. Sankirtha, we have seen that how the Deputy Chief Minister, has been personally looking after things that need attention in the state of Karnataka as well as the city of Bengaluru. It's like I said in the beginning as well, it is okay to disagree with certain points when it comes to the budget and the allocation and the focus of where that money is going to go. But the fact of the matter is, while the BJP was in charge of Karnataka, there were a number of mistakes that were made, and the Congress will look to correct it if they want to stay in power for long.
I would like to ask my dear Congress spokesperson. He pointed a good question. I was about to come with my second remark. See, if you see the irrigation projects of Karnataka, the central government made the Bhadra River scheme a national project, and we gave us a stipulus of 5,300 crores for that scheme. I would like to ask, when Siddaramaiah presented a 3-long-hour budget, regarding the irrigation, which is a major facility for the farmers, what were the base allocation and what were the particular allocations for the schemes? Why was it not told? Secondly, the Kisan Samman scheme, which in the central government gives 6,000 directly to the accounts of the farmers and 4,000 from the central government, from the state government. Where is that 4,000 gone? Why have you scrapped it? You have to answer. And my dear friend talks about the loans that were being raised. I would like to also quote, and the overall budget, what you were trying to quote, the Siddaramaiah was always trying to criticize the central government. I already told, let it be a political governance-related administrative budget, not a political budget. And it's a copy-paste budget. We all know what all happened in this thing. Secondly, when D.K. Shivkumar talks of brand Bengaluru, it's really ironic. I want to talk. He told in a statement that he bought a 500 or 100 crores of worth mall in just 30 minutes. I cannot buy a house in 30 minutes now, in a day, because that kind of a thing is with the stamps and department, which is having a budget and which is they're expecting a revenue of 25,000 crores this year from the Department of Stamps and Revenue. So this is the kind of thing, and this kind of brand Bengaluru can only be helpful for someone bigwigs like D.K. Shivkumar or any other businessman. It will not help a common man like me or you. That is for sure. That can be definitely ascertained from his statement. Secondly, brand Bengaluru, they are also trying to give it a bigger shape or a bigger name. That sounds good, but the 45,000 crores, they don't have a proper DPR as to how. Because see, if you Mumbai grows vertically, but Bangalore grows circularly. They don't have a proper plans for all these ring roads, peripheral ring roads or outer ring roads, all those things. They don't have a proper plan. They're just trying to loot and give this YST, VST tax to their state central leaders. So this is the main agenda of this ATM Sarkar. They don't have any kind of a agenda to upliftment of the poor people, or neither this budget is pro people.
Okay, it is pro-people. Well, that is also a challenge for the Congress party, Mr. Hegde. The people in Karnataka have voted for change. They have also voted for swiftness when it comes to your party taking action and correcting all those wrongs. I'm talking about the potholes, I'm talking about the crumbling infrastructure, I'm talking about the delayed flyovers in the metro. All of these things also have to be put, on the front seat now.
Definitely, I agree with you. But as you said, we have come with the support of the poor. We are going to give them direct benefit as we have allocated through our guarantee scheme. And we agree that there is a lot of work to do. In the last few years, they have, they have ruled with a 40% government. Let me just remind your viewers, if you actually think back to the last 3 or 4 years, you won't be able to remember a single scheme that the Bomaima government brought. The only thing that will come into your mind is the 40% government that they brought. So that 40% what was brought in, we have already initiated an inquiry on that. And now we shall give that 40% directly back to the people who are the rightful owners of that 40%. We are going to give the entire amount of the Karnataka budget back to its people, and that will empower Karnataka. Not just brand Bengaluru, but we'll have to rebrand Karnataka, because in the last few years, we have been known as the corruption capital. We have to ensure, and we have through this budget, that the amount that Karnataka generates goes back to the Kannadigas, goes back to Karnataka, goes back to redeveloping Karnataka. That's what we have done with this budget and with all our schemes. And that is what D.K. Shivakumar sir, Siddaramaiah sir have all done and are planning to do over the next few years. We have come, it's been 2 months since we have come into government. And you can already see the radical changes that were brought in. And the BJP do not have any answer to this here.
Okay. Mr. Majid Hydari also joins us on the show. Mr. Hydari, I hope you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
Mr. Hydari, the success of the Bharatiya Janata Party was set up by what the Prime Minister, when he was a Chief Minister in Gujarat, did for the amplification of the image of Gujarat as well as the amplification of the infrastructure and the development of Gujarat, and that of course turned into a national mandate. Do you think that the Congress party also needs to approach Karnataka with this kind of a mindset? Because 2024 is around the corner. It's one thing to have a budget and make promises, but it's another one to see rampant transformations in your promises within a stipulated amount of time. Do you think it is a litmus test, trial by fire for the Congress party?
Well, Vineet Sahib, it's not a litmus test for Congress alone. It's also the litmus test for the Bharatiya Janata Party, because the promises that were made by Congress were more attractive for the people of Karnataka. And I would call it the blessed budget for the people of Karnataka. Why I say so? Because this budget has that Pancharatna element, Panchatantra element, Panchakarma element, because the 5 promises that were made by Congress, they are delivering it in this budget, and they have kept a separate 52,000 crores for that. But then let's look beyond this. See, the promises they have made, they are executing it in the very first innings. And it's a good sign that now the promises are not only about promises, it's about deliverance, which Congress has shown this time. So this will be a test for BJP also in other states. And then the other point, see, what Congress has done, something very good in this, is that today, most of us do shopping through the grocery or online shopping stores. And those runners who come to our homes, they always have a threat to their lives. They are the runners for every family in the country now. So Congress has kept a separate insurance scheme for them also. And then look at education. Education is most important for our country. The educational budget has been hiked to by 11% now. So in education also, you have kept 1 lakh rupees in this loan for students' education with only 2% of what you say as interest. And then how Congress is going to achieve its targets, it's mainly that they have hiked the tax on liquor, the Videshi liquor, and that is how they are going to run this model, and it's quite appreciable. And then look at finally one more important thing about the minorities. Karnataka government has come up with Christian Development Corporation with 100 crore funding. I mean, this is something new and appreciable, that now minorities or others will get benefited by the governance, and that is what is needed. So all the way, this budget is a complete package which Bharatiya Janata Party in fact needs to introspect, that budget or politics or poll politics cannot be about one particular community or its ideas. We are a pluralistic country, and our budget, our poll ideas have to be about every Indian, not necessarily particular one community, which unfortunately BJP has been doing. So more than Congress, now it's a test for BJP that how it will deliver to the 130 crore people which are not essentially from one community. Every tribe needs to be benefited. And when it's sabka saath, sabka vikas, Vishwas, it needs to be everybody on board. And that would be the test for BJP, not Congress at least, because Congress has shown the new way. Yes, over to you.
Okay, Mrs. Sankirta. It's not only about Karnataka. The BJP also needs to be worried about, election 2024. It's more important to focus on the promises that the BJP has made in the past, which are going to be brought up again when the Lok Sabha elections turn up.
See, this ATM Sarkar in Karnataka is definitely the fathers for appeasement politics and appeasement in all over India as well. So if you see, even in this budget, I would like to also remind my dear co-panelist, Mr. Majid Haidri, this Christian Development Corporation was started in the BJP government itself. Mr. Joyless D. Souza, he was the president for the same, and 50 crores was already given to the poor Christians who are in need for the education and employment purposes, and it's already been in practice. So it is not a new initiative. You can just have a cross correction over that. Secondly, if you talk of appeasement and politics, see, the primary education minister, Mr. Madhu Bangarappa, quotes, you have to study Muslim syllabus as a in the education sector. You have to study Muslim syllabus, Muslim practices, and all those things. Why should someone? See, this is the statement of Madhu Bangarappa. It's not my statement. It's not my statement. This is the statement of the Honorable Minister for Primary Education, Mr. Madhu Bangarappa. And secondly, if you see the overall, the many schemes which have been brought in the BJP government for the welfare of people, it's already been scrapped. The NEP has been pulled down. Okay, the PM Kisan Sanman, the CM Kisan Sanman has been brought down. And if you see the condition supply schemes, when Siddaramaiah and DK Shivkumar, when they were in the pre-poll practices, what they were trying to tell, it is free for everyone. But why is there a condition for these guarantees now? This Stree Shakti scheme, they told it's free for everyone in all the buses. Now they have restricted to only the 2 different kinds of buses, and the buses have come down. And all the SRTs are been suffering losses. And they have given a collection of 11,000 crores for the transport department, whereas still it is having a deficit of 2,880 crores. I don't know where they will have to arrange the funds from. They'll have to give us a proper concrete answer on this. And secondly, my dear friend was trying to quote, it was only from the excise which has been hiked. It is not only from the excise, the taxes of the vehicle registration, they have also given a target. The stamps and revenue department have given a target of 25,000 crores, mainly commercial tax. The biggest chunk is 1,01,000 crore target has been given for commercial taxes. Let us not forget this, and definitely it will be even on my wallet and on all people sitting on this wallets, it will be a burn on our wallets. Secondly, okay, excise, it's a different one altogether. 36,000 crores has been given. Department of Stamps and Revenue, people who are trying to buy houses, affordable housing, all those things will be taken for a toss. They have increased the taxes for 14%. The guideline value of all the properties have been increased by 14%. This will definitely be a ban on your purse. Second, and these are the things what they're trying to quote as a revenue generation model. But still, the question which is not being answered by the Congress or not any of their leader are answering is, where will the 52,000 crores which is going to be spent on the condition supply guarantee schemes of the Congress, how are they generating the revenue? And my dear friend congressman spoke regarding the loans which have been taken by the different years. I would like to remind you, it took Karnataka 62 years to reach 1 lakh crore of debt. You have to note this point. And when Mr. Siddaramaiah came to power in 2013, it took only 3 years to raise the debt from 1 lakh crore to 2 lakh crore. It's only 3 years. And Mr. Siddaramaiah was the chief minister who had presented, I think, his 8th or 9th budget then. And if you see the 2 lakh crore to 3 lakh crore, it took another 2 years only in the Siddaramaiah government. Now it says 5.6 lakh crore. Let me make it clear, my friend, any government, irrespective of BJP, Congress, JDS, any party which comes to power, will definitely have to raise a loan of 50 to 60,000 crores every year to adjust the budget, and the budget size also grows, the GSTP grows. But taking debts and giving fancy schemes, I will not talk about the beneficiaries, but wooing the people of Karnataka, coming to power and applying the conditions is definitely cheating the people of Karnataka. I will not agree with this. So
Okay, all right.
when
Let's
you're given a good mandate,
yeah,
when you
let's-
come to mandate with these guarantees, fulfill it to the 100%. Do
Okay.
not put conditions apply.
Okay, perhaps the Congress party can also say the same thing back to you, Mr. Sangeeta, but let's get a response from Mr.
No,
Hegde as well.
we did not come to power
Okay.
from a conditions apply.
Okay.
We did not promise any guarantees.
Okay,
We
understood.
came to power on what we had
Understood,
focused and what we
understood.
had
You
given.
made your point. Mr. Hegde, respond.
That is very funny. I find that very funny when the BJP says we came into power without giving any guarantees. And yes, they haven't fulfilled anything. They haven't done any work. Out of the last about 200 to 300 promises that they made in the manifesto, they were not even able to complete 60. I mean, that is why we have come into government today. But on another note, I would like to say it is not appeasement politics if we bring in benefit for all. We are looking into every sector, every region of Karnataka and trying to develop Karnataka as a whole. Now, when it comes to the guarantee scheme, the BJP on one hand say that, the guarantees will cause a big burden to the financial state of Karnataka. It will cause a big loss in the economy. It will cause a big burden. And then on the other hand, they say, if we do not implement the 5 guarantees, they will protest. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. They need to get their act together. They need at least a leader of opposition.
No, I
They
would
need
like to.
somebody
I would like to. I would
No,
like
no,
to
let him finish. No, 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 let him make his point. No, let him make his point. Let him make it. He did not interrupt you. No, wait, sir. He did not interrupt you. You can't interrupt him. Let him finish his point. Please be fair. Go on, Mr. Hegde.
And then I'm glad that he agrees that, a government needs to raise debt in order to function. He's just agreed to it on national television. But that's what they've done. In the last 5 years, they have increased the debt from 2.46 lakh crores to 5.35 lakh. And in the central government, they have, Mr. Narendra Modi, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has raised the debt equal to all the Prime Ministers combined. Why is he speaking about that? And when they are trying to do politics of, vengeance, they are trying to put the Food Corporation of India against us. They are not giving us back our GST compensation. This is how we'll have to function. This budget is such a good budget that, going to benefit every part of Karnataka. It's going to benefit every class of Karnataka. And people are seeing it. People are happy about it. As soon as anybody sees this budget, they know it's a budget for the people. That is not what the BJP did in the last 5 years. Now they can come and complain, but they don't have anything to complain. So they're shooting in the dark, trying to bring in some vague points. This budget, let them point out what's wrong with this budget. Let them point out the specific point. Let them point it out in the House. But they cannot do so because they do not even have a leader of opposition in the House.
Okay, we've run out of time as well. I want Mr. Hydri to wrap up our debate with his thoughts and then we close.
Now, this is people's budget where some 1.3 crore families are going to be benefited essentially by the promises made by the party, and those promises were not community specific. They were not any sex specific. They were people specific. So we want every party in the country to be people specific. If the aspirations and the appeasement should be people's appeasement. When it's people's appeasement, it means everybody will get benefited. That is how a progressive nation like ours needs to move forward beyond the community politics, beyond the communal. I don't say communal politics, I say community politics. Let's evolve to be Jagat Gurus, that where every Indian gets benefited. And the first step towards that inspiration and aspiration is the Karnataka budget. And let's at least on the first day congratulate the Congress government for such a budget and hope that every state gets benefited through such budgets. That is all I would want to say in my conclusory remarks.
All right. Okay. The intent is important. The execution is important. And of course, remembering the manifesto that any party floated during campaigning. And it's, the fact of the matter is that the government has to perform on the basis of what they promised. And that's exactly what it boils down to. And this is the challenge that the Congress is going to face in Karnataka as well.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.